Hello, it is day 16 of sailing across the Pacific Ocean alone, and I'm about 800 miles offshore, and I have about 1,800 miles left to go. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about my Sailboat's self-steering wind vane. It's my autopilot. Let me show you how it works. Okay, so this whole aluminum frame is my autopilot. It's called the wind vane and uses zero electricity. It is all powered by wind. Not to be confused with the instrument on top of my mast, also called the wind vane, which shows which direction the wind is coming from. Here's how it works. I use this control line to change the angle that this wind paddle sits up, and I trim this paddle to have it point into the wind. So right now the wind is coming from over there, and when the boat is like perfectly balanced, then this paddle points straight up in the air. When the boat then goes off course and the paddle gets pushed over to one side, it then causes this rudder that's in the water to rotate one way or the other. So as this paddle twists through the water, all of the water pressure running past it causes it to swing on the pendulum that it's on. And there's a bunch of lines that are run from that paddle all the way back to the tiller. And so as that pendulum swings, the tiller is also swinging with it. And you can see an example of that here. As I move the tiller that way, the paddle goes together. So since the tiller, which controls the rudder and the steering of the boat ultimately, since it's coupled with that pendulum, anytime that moves and causes that pendulum to move, then the boat corrects its course. Other than my EPIRB, which is my little rescue button I need in case of an emergency, this is definitely my most important piece of equipment. After the boat is balanced and the sails are set and the wind vane is set, I can go days without having to make any adjustments. Because there's no electricity involved and it's all powered off of the wind, it does mean that if the wind changes direction, then the boat's course will change as well. So really the only thing I have to monitor is to make sure that the wind hasn't changed direction. And the wind on the ocean is so consistent and so steady that it really requires very little tending. In other news, it being day 16 means that I'm down to my last apple. I've allowed myself one apple per day because the apples you buy in Mexico are actually imported from the US and like specifically imported from Washington, where I launched from. And so having an apple every day has been like a little piece of home, and I'm down to my last one. So if you're going grocery shopping today and you see an apple, pick one up for me.